The organizing means reaches a point where it no longer orders the world, but begins to examine the nature of ordering itself. Thus, abstraction emerges, detachment from the concrete. Within the abstract space, behind structure, a principium appears, the foundational principle. The search for the foundational principle leads to the foundation, upon which everything else is built. The investigation of the foundation is already theory. Theory does not study the phenomenon itself, but the possibility of the phenomenon. Theory recognizes its own limits. Thus, the concept of limitation appears. The recognition of limits gives rise to paradoxes, points at which logic collides with itself. Here, dialectics emerges, the giant movement of opposites. From the tension of opposites, dynamics arise, not to resolve, but to understand motion. Behind motion, the continuum becomes visible, unbroken continuity. The continuum no longer consists of elements, but of a field, and this field exists in thought as well. The field perspective leads to a holistic view. Within it, parts are intelligible only through the whole. And here, science returns to its point of origin, to the man's. Yet now, it no longer sees in parts, but in wholes. At this point, Latin-derived technical terms no longer introduce new concept. They draw a map of thinking. And on this map, the next word is not a new concept, but integrity. From integrity, the subtle shift occurs, coherence emerges. Elements are not merely present together, aligned in a meaningful accord. The perception of this accord leads to consistency, order without contradiction. Within a consistent system, a pattern becomes visible. At the meeting point of form of structure, the pattern can be detected. This recognition is detection. From detected patterns, interpretation arises. Interpretation confers meaning. Meaning stabilizes within a semantics in which a network of concepts lives. The semantic network already constitutes an independent systematics. Systematics leads to typology, in which phenomena are ordered into types. The comparison of types gives rise to comparison. Through comparison, the subtlety of differentiation becomes visible. The perception of fine difference leads to discrimination. In the scientific sense, distinction. The refinement of distinction requires specification. Specific phenomena together form a larger corpus that can be examined as a unified whole. The examination of the corpus is the domain of systematics. Through systematic investigation, the meta-level emerges. We no longer examine the thing, but the examination of the thing. This is the deeper layer of methodology. And here, thinking is no longer merely scientific, but aware of its own mode of operation. This is the point of reflexive awareness, where the mens observes itself in the act of thinking.